mic on? Can everyone hear me? Okay. Will everyone please be seated? This is quite a big group on the front row. Welcome, everyone, to the commencement of Antioch University's PhD in Leadership and Change. This is our 8th commencement and our largest graduating class. I'm Lori and Alexandra, and I'm the director of the PhD program and have the honor of hosting this event for you today. I'd first like to make some formal introductions. I'd like to welcome on the podium Vice Chair of our Board of Governors, Larry Stone, Antioch Chancellor Felice Nudelman. I'd also like to welcome, also on the stage, the extraordinary faculty of this program: Deb Baldwin, Carol Barron, Lisa Boysen, Philomena Essed, Al Guskin, Elizabeth Holloway, Carolyn Kinney, Mitch Kuzi, Laura Morgan Roberts, and John Wergen. I also want to welcome and thank the staff of this program: Leslie Crichton, Jane Garrison, Elaine Gale, Margaret Morgan, Wendy McGrath, and Vicki Nicewander. I thank you all for what you do. This program would not be here if it were not for the support of Antioch University's leadership for the last 12 years. We have a number of members of our board here today. In addition to Vice Chair Larry Stone, we have our Board of Governors Chair Howard Coleman. We have members and former members of the board: Arthur Zucker, Charlotte Roberts, Joseph Blass, and Martha Somerville. Thank you all for your years of support of our program. I also want to recognize and thank the 5 presidents of Antioch University's campuses. I think this is the first commencement ceremony where the presidents of the campuses other than Midwest have been here, and I really welcome each and every one of you. Our students and faculty visit your campuses as they go through this program, and it is your generosity and hospitality of your campus faculty and staff which make our student experience so fantastic. So I want to thank Dr. Nancy Leffert from Antioch University, Santa Barbara, Dr. Tex Boggs from Antioch University, Los Angeles, Dr. Brian Baird from Antioch University, Seattle, Dr. Stephen Jones from Antioch University, New England, and a special appreciation to the president of Antioch University Midwest, Dr. Ellen Hall, for the support she gets us for 8 days every year. And this is our home. And Ellen, I thank you very much for your years of support of the program. As I look out on the audience, I have to say it is beyond my wildest imagination that this is real. This program has grown so dramatically in quality and in people, in the reach we have. It is a deep love for many of us, more than a job. And I know for you in this room, it has, whatever your relationship, a graduate, a family member, faculty member, it has consumed much of your life in recent years. So I need to recognize that. First, I want to welcome current students of the PhD program who are in the audience. We have 157 doctoral students right now. And I guess my message to you all today is enjoy and think about yourself up here in a year, 2 years, 3 years, wherever you are in the program. I also want to, of course, give a huge welcome to the alumni who have flown in or driven in from across the country because they want to see one of their cohort members graduate today. There are over a dozen alumni who have come in, so welcome back home. There's another very special group out there, proud and relieved. Husbands, wives, partners, grandparents, children, grandchildren, friends, and colleagues of today's graduates. Indeed, you have been waiting for this day for a very long time, and I promise you it has finally come. And last, and perhaps most importantly, to the graduates, you, more than anyone else in this room, have worked so very hard and so very long to make your dream of achieving a doctorate in philosophy and leadership and change a reality. I congratulate you, and I am thrilled that we can celebrate today with you. So with that, we have some formal welcomes. And I would first like to ask Larry Stone to bring welcome from the Board of Governors.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And congratulations, members of Antioch University's class of 2013 PhD in Leadership and Change program. As Vice Chair, I am pleased to bring greetings from the Antioch Board of Governors. The Board of Governors has the legal and responsibility to see that the university is properly and prudently managed. We depend on local boards of trustees to be our strategic partners in overseeing the management of the university. I am a volunteer, as are all governors and trustees. Why do we serve on these boards? Because we believe in progressive education and experiential learning, and we believe in the mission of Antioch University. The payback we get is to witness graduation ceremonies like this one. I'm honored to be here in the presence of a group of elite learners and leaders. You have collectively committed thousands of hours to challenge yourselves in and out of the classroom in your effort to take your commitment to a higher level, a commitment to change, advocacy, leadership, and social justice. During this journey, you have already made a difference. I heard many stories about your accomplishments, and they are impressive. And while you have all enjoyed successful careers to date, I can see the anticipation in your faces that comes with wearing a cap and gown. While you are about to receive the highest degree offered by Antioch University, your expressions are similar to those Antiochians who received a BA or MA degree, albeit you may have acquired more gray hairs and crow's feet. These just accentuate your excitement about this moment. Now, Antioch students don't come to our university to be transformed, yet many describe their experiences as transformative. We hear it again and again. As a cohort of students who have most likely formed lifelong bonds over the past several years, your journeys have included practical work that has demonstrated your commitment to being a change agent and to living the Antioch University mission. Every one of you has a story to tell, and you will have a chance to share your stories with your guests, relatives, and teachers at this ceremony. I heard some of those stories last night, and they were very Antiochian. Where else but in a PhD program in leadership and change would you have a PhD thesis on forgiveness? You'll find out more about this later. The PhD in leadership and change program has now been in place 10 years. and the 2013 class is about to become part of an alumni network of leaders. All of you have accomplished much and have so much more to do. I want to welcome you into this elite group, a group which you should tap as advocates, partners, and change agents. No challenge is too large for a Leadership and Change alumnus. You are leaders, and you know how to use your networks. So, go out, create new stories that you can share with Antioch University. Inspire us to help inspire others to make a difference. Thank you for your commitment to leadership and change.
I would now like to ask Chancellor Noodleman to please come up and welcome everyone.
Good morning. I have the distinct pleasure that on behalf of Antioch University, I bring you greetings this fine morning. This is a day of celebration and transition. As you move forward, I urge you to be agents of change. Our global society today is beset with challenges that can only be successfully met through courage and creativity and a community of people willing to come together to find the solutions. As James Bryan Conant wisely observed, consider the turtle. It only makes progress when it sticks its neck out. I hope that here at Antioch, you have nurtured your creativity and steeled your courage to do just that. Antioch's founder, Horace Mann, embraced this notion more than 150 years ago when he said, "Let us not be content to wait and see what will happen, but give us the determination to make the right things happen." Please let this be your call to action. Congratulations to you on your hard work and dedication to a life worth living. We are so enormously proud of you.
In addition to the awarding and conferral of degrees to our graduates in the PhD in Leadership and Change program, today is a very special day for a very special person. Our Board of Governors has decided to award Arthur Zucker, former chairman of the board and graduate of Antioch College, an honorary doctorate for his years of extraordinary leadership of this institution as a member and chairman of our Board of Governors. I am deeply honored that it was Art's request that that conferral be made here at this commencement ceremony. Art, I want to thank you personally for all you have done for Antioch University. And I'm now going to turn the podium over to our current board chair, Howard Coleman, to award you the degree. Please come up.
On behalf of the Antioch University Board of Governors, I have the privilege today of presenting Arthur J. Zucker for conferral of an honorary doctorate degree from Antioch University. The conferral of an honorary degree is a rare event at Antioch. It is only awarded by the Board of Governors and is reserved for those, and I'm going to quote, who have demonstrated distinguished service to Antioch University over an extended period, or distinguished personal accomplishments reflecting the values of Antioch University. Art is the personification of those criteria. I cannot think of anyone else who has served the university so well for such an extended period of time. Art has volunteered his time to be on the Board of Governors from February 2001 through June 30, 2013, and only left because of Antioch's term limit policy. He was the chair of the board from July 2005 to the present. He has witnessed and, more importantly, led the dramatic transformation of this institution. Art has served with 5 chancellors. Jim Hall and Bruce Bedford, while not technically a chancellor, he was the CEO of the university for a while. He's a board member currently. Jim Craiglow, Tony Murdoch, and our current chancellor, Felice Noodleman. He served on more committees than I have time to mention, but I do want to mention 2 that are extremely important to me, and although I have not discussed it with Art, I think they were probably extremely important to him as well. The first, and I had to ask Art the name of this morning, was the Ad Hoc Governance Committee, a innocuous-sounding committee that set the structure of this institution. It established boards of trustees at each of the campuses that work with the Board of Governors and created a structure where local communities took control, not control because the Board of Governors has actual control, but took responsibility and care for each of their individual campuses to make sure that each campus was deeply rooted in their community while creating one university. I know that this is one of Art's pride and joys, and this structure is unique in this country. The second is the most recent search committee that hired Chancellor Noodleman. This was an amazing hire, someone who brings energy and innovativeness to the institution, and I know Art will sleep well at night knowing that she is the chancellor. Finally, and most importantly, and this is going to sound rhetorical, but I really cannot overstate this, we would not be sitting here today if it were not for Art Zucker. In the mid-2000s, this institution was in a financial crisis. And Art, being an alumni of the college as I am, had the courage to make the heartbreaking decision to close the college. That decision resulted in 2 things that are phenomenal. First, in this university, we are now on sound financial footing again. This institution is thriving, and it would not have been for that decision, but for that decision. Secondly, he had the courage and the vision to work with Antioch alumni, the college alumni, because as college members, we care a great deal about the college. And we actually sold the college back to its alumni, and it is reopened. And both the college and the university are better for that. And we all owe Art an enormous debt of gratitude for that situation. So Chancellor Noodleman and Vice Chancellor Alexander, I am proud to present Arthur J. Zucker for conferral of an honorary degree from Antioch University.
I would now like to present Dr. Arthur Zucker.
Wow. I feel like I just sung an aria at La Scala. I need my glasses, if I can see. Thank you, Howard, so much for your words, your kind words. You know, this is really quite a turnaround for me, considering the number of PhD graduates I've had the honor of hooding. Lorian, you've been my higher ed mentor and moral support for all the time I've been on the board. It doesn't get any better than you hooding me. Felice, I'm so glad to have the chance to be a part of the new world you are building here. Thank you for being such an important part of this ceremony. I began my Antioch University board career in February 2001 at the tender age of 68. after 40 years in the electronics industry, I came onto this board never having served on a higher education governing board. I retired from the board just a month ago as a seasoned veteran, having worked for and led the institution through crisis and change. I certainly didn't do this alone. There were many others who exceeded performance norms in getting the job done, and I'll speak to that later. It's unlikely that anyone here would know the name Charles Huff. The story begins in the fall of 1949, in my senior year at Asbury Park High School in New Jersey, when I first applied to Antioch College. After reading the catalog, I wanted to apply only to Antioch. Charles Huff was the principal of my high school. I was a pretty good student, so when I was called out of class to report to the principal's office, I was very nervous. Mr. Huff informed me that he wasn't going to sign the transcript that was part of my application to Antioch. He said he'd rather recommend me for a scholarship to any one of several other schools, including Princeton. He asked me, "Why would you want to go to that school?" I somehow convinced him that I was rational in my intentions, and he signed the document. I was so very fortunate to go to that school, Antioch College, right here in scenic Yellow Springs. My college experience at Antioch formed my adult life and career. After I retired, my passion for Antioch was rekindled when I joined the board and realized that the university's adult campuses demonstrated the same attributes that I had experienced at the college, which was so important in my life. And with great pride, here I am today. Many of us here have clear memories of some difficult times in the recent past. Throughout its long history, Antioch has had many crises to deal with, some threatening its very existence. But somehow, the institution has survived and kept its direction. There's an inner strength that's in its core. Its faculty excellence and focus on individual student achievement, its commitment to community, and its unwavering culture of living its mission and values. One of the many responsibilities of a university board is to ensure that the institution lives its mission. For an Antioch board member, that's a no-brainer. We live the mission from the ground up. You can go to any of our campuses and talk with faculty, staff, or students and realize the strength of and commitment to the mission and values. To build on these strengths, we now have in place the demonstrated leadership of Felice Noodleman, coupled with the partnership being forged with our new experienced board chair, Howard Coleman. This is why, with all of my years associated with Antioch, I'm so confident of its future, more so today than ever. Much has been accomplished over the years of my Antioch life. These successes came from the efforts of so many who were and are strongly committed to Antioch University. There are several that deserve mention. First is Toni Murdoch. As chancellor when I was board chair, she courageously stepped into the fray by taking on the responsibility to deal effectively with the college's financial problems. Next, I want to recognize the work of Bill Groves, our university counsel, whose skill, insight, and relationships fostered the complex but successful transfer of the college assets. I want to express my gratitude to Leslie Bates, our secretary of the board. Her support, guidance, and insight have been of immeasurable value to me and to Antioch University. I want to thank Larry Stone, my successor board chair, for stepping up to lead the university through change. We all owe thanks to John Wergen, PhD faculty, and Charlotte Roberts, Governor and Search Committee co-chair, whose influence, objectivity, and guidance were instrumental in the success of the Chancellor's search that brought us Felice Noodleman. And finally, I want to recognize my dear wife, Betty. Has been my constant and solid support, my sounding board, my critic, and my advisor, sharing the anguish as well as the joys. Without her, I wouldn't qualify for this award. My heartfelt thanks go to all of these people I've just mentioned and to all the Antiochians who've made these accomplishments possible during my term in office. Standing here today, I'm moved, not just for the honor being bestowed upon me, but by the presence of so many of my friends and associates. This includes several of my classmates from the 50s at Antioch College. Looking around, you can see why the percentage of octogenarians is particularly high in this room today. I'll make it. In addition to my classmates here are close friends, former associates, current and former board members, and the entire leadership team of Antioch University. I thank you all so much for being here and sharing this with me. It is fitting that this honor be conferred here at this commencement of Antioch's prestigious PhD program. My term on the board parallels this program, both having started in 2001. And the program name certainly defines my Antioch career, leadership and change. And this honor is only enhanced by sharing the platform today with these graduates, recognizing their achievements. As we all know, my Antioch career has been a labor of love. For me, the fulfillment has been being an active participant in this community of so many bright, energetic, creative, and insightful peers and colleagues. Thank you, Board of Governors, and thank you, Antioch. Hold on. I'm going to finish. Thank you, Board of Governors, and thank you, Antioch University, for awarding me this treasured recognition. This is the rarefied air of a badge of honor for all to see, an honorific title that is now part of me. I shall enjoy this honorary doctorate and the memory of this day for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Okay, it's over. Just I'll go to the reception, Hannah. More to come. In planning today's session, I thought that we might need a transition. Jane and I thought we might need a transition from what I knew would be a powerful moment for all of us to another powerful moment, and that transition needed to also be a powerful moment. So I would like to ask Karen Hugard, who is an internationally recognized and award-winning singer and performance artist and songwriter, to join us now and share with us a gift of music as an interlude. So hold your horses, everybody.
Good morning.